interested in becoming part of Kailasa government, want to take the responsibility for collective integrity. You can declare your commitments through the social media now, either through YouTube live chat or Facebook live comments, Twitter live messages. You can put your comments. Whoever wants to take up the responsibility for collective integrity of taking the science to the whole universe, want to spend your time. I am not looking for people with the treasure or people with the talent. I am looking for people who are ready to spend their time to take the responsibility for collective integrity. So you can take the science to the world and enrich the world, empower the world, let the whole world enjoy. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. You can put your comments, commitments. People who are part of the Kailasa government already, Adinavasis, Sannyasis, enrichers, causes, they will call you, connect with you. Let us form a larger government team of Kailasa who wants to take the responsibility for collective integrity. To them, I will share the next level powers, so you can take this. You can also enjoy, you can take this to the whole world. So this is the message on this Vijayadasami, auspicious Vijayadasami day. Let the victory be on all of us by the grace of Paramashiva. Let Paramashiva shower victory on all of us. Now, I bring not only the initiation as the living representation, living manifestation of Paramashiva, I bring consciousness of Paramashiva to everyone who is connected to me now, sitting all over the universe. Sit with your Atmalinga in your palms. You will receive the consciousness. Paramashiva himself manifesting and showering the powers related to gravity, electromagnetic force, weak nuclear force, strong nuclear force, and consciousness. Paramashiva, 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 Paramashiva. Let everyone experience the cosmic Kundalini, Paramashiva, awakening in all of us. Paramashiva, awakening in all of us. I'll give you a few minutes if you want to call your family, friends, everyone for initiation. Call all of them, your pets, your kids, your family. Get all of them. Get the Atmalinga. Settle down. I'll give the initiation now. I'll start the initiation now. Whoever wants to commit to take the collective responsibility, you can put your messages in YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, in all the social media platforms. We are live, and gather your family, friends, your pets, kids, all with their Atmalinga for the initiation. If you don't have Atmalinga, you can pick up any stone, a small stone, and keep it in your hand. I'll energize that, do prana pratishtha of that stone into Atmalinga, and bring conscious initiation to all of you. We'll start the initiation now. Please sit straight. Keep the Atmalinga in your hand. Just remember this one truth. Paramashiva is real. He is manifesting now as this Nijavatara in all of you. In every one of us, He Himself is manifesting. This is simple truth, reality, not utility or just powerful cognition. It's utility also, powerful cognition also, but above all that, it is reality, truth. Sit straight. You can keep your eyes open or closed, but keep the Atmalinga in your hand. It can touch the Anandagandha, just space below the heart, above the navel, and sit for the conscious initiation. Om Paramashiva. Om Paramashiva, 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 Paramashiva.
சனடி போற்றி சிவன் சேவடி போற்றி நேயத்தே நின்றடி மலனடி போற்றி ஆயப்பிறப்பருக்கும் மன்னனடி போற்றி சீரார் பெரும் துறையினம் தேவனடி போற்றி ஆராத இன்பம் அருளும் மலை போற்றி ஈசனே சிந்தை கவனம் நேசனே வருவாய் பூவோடு கனிகளை கொண்டு உன்னை பூஜித்தோ அருள் தருவாய் கலி என்னும் கடலினில் மூழ்கிட்டேயும் இனி கரம் வந்து
Paramashiva, 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 Paramashiva.
அருணாச்சலனே நீ வாரா அகண்ட ஜோதியனே வாராய், அல்லல் நீக்கிடவே வாராய், அகிலம் போற்றுகின்ற ஈசனே, சிந்தை கவர்ந்த நேசனே, நீ வருவாய் ஒடு கனிகளை கொண்டு பூஜித்தோம் அருள் தருவாய். சூலமும் வெயிலில் வில்வமும் நிறையா கடல் நீர் குடியோடு தரிசனம் அருளவா, சிப்பன் மாட சிற்றவைதனிலே சிந்தை கவர்ந்த உன்னை சிக்கன பிடித்தேனே,
வந்தும் புகழ் பெறும் நான் வரை நாயகா மதியனில் இறைந்திடுவாய், மதி உணராதவர்க்கு மதி உணர் செய்திட மண்மனதி
அறவாடிட இதை சூழ்ந்திட இவன் சேர நீ வருவாய், அகம் உணர்ந்திட புறம் மகிழ்ந்திட புலித்தோலோடு நீ வருவாய். விமுக்தி காரணே நாதிகேச திவ்ய பிரம்மரூபனே, மீனாட்சி சக்தி சகித சுந்தரேசனே, அண்ணாமலை உதித்த நித்யநந்தனே, சித்து அச்சித்தெல்லாம் முன்னாலே இயக்கும் முன்னாலே உந்தன் கண்ணாலே, சிகையில் அணிந்திட்ட மதியாலே மதிலின் மொழியாலே தெளிந்திடும் வழியாலே, ஜீவன் முக்தி பெற விழைந்தோமே உந்தன் திருவடியில் தொழுதோமே. ஆகினாய் கேள்வியாகினாய் கேள்வி காண பதிலுமாகினாய், ஊழியாகினாய் உலகமாகினாய் அதுமாகி அருள்படை தரும் கர்ம விதைகள் தீர்க்கும் காசிநாதனே, எங்கள் கர்மம் போக்கி எப்பயாலும் நேசனே, ஏகாந்தமாக ஏக பாதம் தூக்கியே எங்கள் மணியாரை காக்க வேண்டும் நித்யநந்தனே, ஈசனே சிந்தை கவர வந்த நேசனே, நீ வருவாய் அருணாச்சலனே நீ வாராய், அகண்ட ஜோதியனே வாராய், அகிலம் போற்றிடவே வாராய், நித்யானந்தனே.
பக்தி வரும் நித்தியம் தந்த சத்தியம் எல்லாம் கேளுங்க, சக்தி தரும் யுத்திகள் எல்லாம் ஒன்னல ரெண்டல ஆயிருங்க, பக்தி வரும் நித்தியம் தந்த சத்தியம் எல்லாம் கேளுங்க, சக்தி தரும் யுத்திகள் எல்லாம் ஒன்னல ரெண்டல ஆயிருங்க, என்னன்னு கேட்டா அது எட்டு சோரக்காய போகும், சொந்த வாழ்க்கையில நீங்க அதை வாழ்ந்திட நித்திய ஆனந்தம் கூடிடுங்க, சொர்க்கமதையனோ நீங்க வெளியே தேடணும், நித்யானந்த ஸ்பூரண வந்தா தானே கூடிடும், சொர்க்கமதையனோ நீங்க வெளியே தேடணும், நித்யானந்த ஸ்பூரண வந்தா தானே கூடிடும்.
சிவ பரமசிவ 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 பரமசிவ. Let the Kundalini Shakti, Paramashakti, awaken in all of us. Paramashiva is real. Paramashiva, Paramashiva, Paramashiva.
மகாதேவ
நிறைந்திட கைலையில் வாடும் எங்கள் கைலை நாதனே கருணையின் வடிவே நீ வருக வருகவே நலம் தரும் வாழ்வருளும் நித்யானந்தனே இடமதி சூடி நீ வருக வருகவே அன்பின் வடிவமே ஆனந்த ஈஸ்வரனே வெள்ளம் முழுதும் சிவாட்சி மலர வருகவே அடிமுடி காணாத அண்ணாமலை நாதனே சடை புலி ஆட்டவனே அடியெடுத்து வருகவே கைலை வாழும் எங்கள் கைலை நாதனே கருணை வடிவே நீ வருக வருகவே நலம் தரும் வாழ்வருளும் நித்யானந்தனே இடமதி சூடி நீ வருக வருகவே புல்லாகி பூடாய் புழுவாய் மரமாகி பல்விருகமாகி பறவையாய் பாம்பாகி கல்லா மனிதராய் பேயாய் கணங்களாய் வல்லசுரராய் முனிவராய் தேவராய் செல்லாரின் தாவர சங்கமத்துள் எல்லா பிறப்பும் பிறந்திழைத்தேன் பெருமான் மெய்யே உன் பொன்னடிகள் கண்டு இன்று வீடுற்றேன் மெய்யே உன் பொன்னடிகள் கண்டு இன்று வீடுற்றேன் சரீரத்தில் வேண்டும் அதனால் திசை கொடு உண்மையால் கொண்டவா கையாளும் ஈசா கற்புரிய திவ்ய சரீரத்தில் வாதின் பொருள் போற்ற வேண்டும் அதனால் திசை கொடு உண்மையால் கொண்டவா வெளிவித்தவா வாழ்வுதனை மயமாக்கவா ஔஷதம் தந்தவா உடல்நிலை விடும் பொறுமை தந்தருளவா வெளிவித்தவா வாழ்வுதனை மயமாக்கவா ஔஷதம் தந்தவா உடல்நிலை விடும் பொறுமை தந்தருளவா நாளும் ஈசா அருள்புரிய திவ்ய சரிதத்தில் வாடின் வேண்டும் அதனால் திசை கொடு எம்மையாட் கொண்டவா மாற்றமாம் வையகத்தின் சேரே வந்தறிவாம் தேற்றனே தேற்றத் தெளிவே என் சிந்தனையுள் ஊற்றான உன்னாரமுதே உதயானே கலியுகம் மரலில் இருளது நீங்க தீபமாய் எழுந்த ஜோதி ஸ்வரூபானவம் அழித்து முக்தி தந்திட மலையாகி நின்ற அருணாச்சலமே மானிட ரூபம் தரித்தவா படைத்து காத்து மறை கழித்து அருளிடவே பரம ஞானம் தன்னை இறை ரூபம் கொண்ட நித்யானந்தனை அருளிடவா வேண்டும் என்று கடல் கடைந்த போது அது வரும் நஞ்சை உண்டு வார்த்தை காத்திருந்தார் சிவ சிவ சிவமோ நம சிவாயமோ ஹர ஹர என சித்தம் அடையும் சிவ சிவாயமோ நம சிவாயமோ அகதிமியன காலம் முடங்கும் நாளும் ஈசா அற்புரிய திவ்ய சரிதத்தில் வாடின் வேண்டும் அதனால் திசை கொடு எம்மையாட் கொண்டவா
பகவதே ருத்ராய புருஷாய அகோராய வாமதேவாய சத்யஜாதாய நமः பகவதே ருத்ராய புருஷாய அகோராய வாமதேவாய சத்யஜாதாய நமः நிகமாகம புனருத்தாரக நித்யானந்த பரமசிவா நித்யானந்த பரமசிவா ज्योतिमुख श्रीमन्महासदाशिव सर्वासां शक्तिनपति परशिवा कैलासपुरुद्धारक अवतार श्रेष्ठ कृपाकरपतिगम्य नित्यानन्द परमशिवा नित्यानन्द परमशिवा नित्यानन्द परमशिवा జటినిలకంఠ ఇందుశేఖర జగన్పీత సర్వకామద కామారి పరా పరా జటినిలకంఠ ఇందుశేఖర జగన్పీత సర్వకామద కామారి పరా పరా మంత్రమయ విద్యందేహిన్ సర్వజ్ఞపీఠేశ్వర ఆనంద గంధ నిలయ నిర్వాణద కాషాయం వర సన్యాస కృత్యదీశ్వరా శివ త్రినేత్ర దీక్షదాయక నిత్యానంద పరమశివా నిత్యానంద పరమశివా నిత్యానంద పరమశివా
வானவர் மேலவர் வாழ்த்திய வாழ்ந்திட நல்லவர் நாடும் நாமம் போற்றி அண்ணாமலை பிறந்த அமுதே போற்றி ஆலை அமர்ந்த அரசே போற்றி ஆடக மதுரை அரணே போற்றி ஆரமுது ஆன ஆனந்த போற்றி மறையும் மறைக்காக்கும் மலையே போற்றி முழுமதியாய் வந்த முதல்மா போற்றி அருணையில் உதித்த நித்தியனை போற்றி மாமுதிரை நீத்த சுந்தரா போற்றி அருணையில் உதித்த நித்தியனை போற்றி மாமுதிரை நீத்த சுந்தரா போற்றி
Paramashiva, 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 Paramashiva. Paramashiva, 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 Paramashiva. Listen to this revelation intensely. You will manifest this reality now. All the principles of greed is included in the fear. Fear is the higher force inclusive of greed. Powerful cognition is higher force inclusive of fear and greed. Initiation is higher force inclusive of fear, greed, powerful cognitions. Consciousness is higher force inclusive of fear, greed, powerful cognitions and initiations. Same way, electromagnetic force is higher than the principles of gravitation and inclusive of the principles of gravitation. Weak nuclear force is not only higher, it is inclusive of the principles of gravitation and the principles of electromagnetic forces. Strong nuclear force is higher than and inclusive of gravitation force, electromagnetic force, weak nuclear force. Consciousness is higher and inclusive of gravitation force, weak nuclear force, gravitation force, electromagnetic force, weak nuclear force, and strong nuclear force. So understand, consciousness is not only higher, it is inclusive of all the other four forces. So sit with this consciousness. Paramashiva is real. You will manifest consciousness now. Paramashiva, 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 Paramashiva.
नित्यं मन्त्रं नित्यं यन्त्रं नित्यं तन्त्रं नित्यं सर्वं नित्यं मन्त्रं नित्यं यन्त्रं नित्यं तन्त्रं नित्यं सर्वं तपोयज्ञदानादिभिः शुद्धबुद्धिर्विरक्तो नृपादे पदे तुच्छबुद्ध्या परित्यज्य सर्वं यदाप्नोति तत्त्वं परं ब्रह्म नित्यं तदेवाहमस्मि तपोयज्ञदानादिभिः शुद्धबुद्धिर्विरक्तो नृपादे पदे तुच्छबुद्ध्या परित्यज्य सर्वं यदाप्नोति तत्त्वं परं ब्रह्म नित्यं तदेवाहमस्मि नित्यं मन्त्रं नित्यं यन्त्रं नित्यं तन्त्रं नित्यं सर्वं नित्यं मन्त्रं नित्यं यन्त्रं नित्यं तन्त्रं नित्यं सर्वम् दयालुं गुरुं ब्रह्मनिष्ठं प्रशान्तं समाराध्य मत्या विचार्य स्वरूपं यदाप्नोति तत्त्वं निदिध्यास्य विद्वान्
Om Paramashiva, 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 Paramashiva. I bless you all with this conscious process and initiation. Paramashiva is real. Paramashiva. 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 Paramashiva.
Nithyanandam, Jnanapatiti Manual, under the guidance of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadusham Tattvamasyaadilakshya Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Let's go through the disclaimers. Security measures. No photography, video, audio recording. Important cautions. Please be aware of the important cautions.
Science of power manifestation is authentic, time-tested, scientific, and foolproof. The Shastra Pramana, the authentic scriptures, Shrutis, the Vedagamas stand as a foundation for Hinduism. Apta Pramana, authentic, time-tested, foolproof compilation of the experience of the sages, rishis, and enlightened masters, which is in terms with the Shastra Pramana. Atma Pramana, with Apta Pramana, a guru is able to experience and live the truth claimed by the Shastras. Shakshi Pramana, manifestation and experience of the Guru's initiation in the disciple of a particular lineage which is demonstrable to the world. And Pratyaksha Pramana, having the truth validated by the scientific study. Bhagavan Paramashiva has given us elaborate understanding, powerful cognition, and initiation for us to experience the deeper truth and the deeper reality. All these pramanas gives us the cognitive shift of manifesting the higher powers of Paramashiva. Let's go to the Shastra Pramana. The Shastra Pramana for consciousness over matter is taken from Vijnana Parvatantra, Sutra 120, Dharana 95.
We move to the Shastra Pramana.
The Shastra Pramana for the power of consciousness over matter, silicon, is taken from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, Sutra 120, Dharana 95. Kvachid vastuni vinyasya shanairdrishtim nivartayet tajnanam chitta sahitam devi shunyalayo bhavet. Kvachid vastuni vinyasya shanairdrishtim nivartayet tajnanam chitta sahitam devi shunyalayo bhavet.
Beautifully, Bhagavan Paramashiva explains in the sutra, having fixed one's eyes on a particular object, Vastu, one should slowly withdraw the sight from the object, as well as slowly eliminate the knowledge of the object, along with the thoughts and impression of it. O Devi, one abides in Sunya, the state where there is nothing other than this exists, which is a state of all-inclusive or infinity. Just now, Bhagavan said how everything is inclusive, how what Bhagavan explained as the microcosm, what we experience as greed, is the macrocosm, the gravitational force. And when we move to the higher forces, the electromagnetic force, which is fear, which is inclusive of the greed. And when we move to the powerful cognition, which is in the macrocosm and the microcosm, how we experience, the macrocosm as a soft nuclear force and the microcosm as powerful cognition, which is higher and inclusive of the fear and greed. If we understand these length, breadth, depth, the dimensions, how we exist constantly in this and being deluded in this, Bhagavan says if you understand each of the component, if you take the greed and if you really work towards understanding the deeper science of the greed, which is the gravitational force, what you attract in the what you understand as reality, the perception that you experience is the gravitational force. What are you gravitating and what are you not gravitating? Both are inclusive. And based on the fear, you are gravitating or not gravitating. That is your desires, or you are not wanting that desire. All this, if it you understand the deeper science, it is Paramashiva who's manifesting all this based on our input and our conscious decisions. And Bhagavan says, if you understand Paramashiva is real and you are consciousness, simply he will flow 100% as the strong nuclear force in each of us, manifesting all that what we want and much more as reality, and which is all inclusive and which is infinite. The minute we start understanding everything that exists is Paramashiva, everything that is happening as Parashakti, constantly alive, more alive than what our perception is. How we wake up from the dream, we understand the dream is much lesser reality than what we are experiencing now. Paramashiva says, if you understand the fifth force, the consciousness, which is all inclusive of all the forces, you will understand these are only the lower forces and you can manifest what you want as reality. You can create your reality as you want and bring all the abundance, auspiciousness, and bliss to your life. More and more completion starts happening when you start living I am Paramashiva. Seeing yourself as Paramashiva every moment raises your frequency to the Paramashiva space. Para means ultimate, Shiva is auspiciousness. Again and again, raising ourselves to the ultimate makes us understand we are ultimate. Bhagavan Paramashiva gives a beautiful space of how in Ramayana and how Ravana lifted the whole Vimana, which was so heavy, just by the mantra. He uses how we use the electromagnetic force. He uses the sound, conscious force, and he can raise the whole space into the next level of manifesting, lifting the object that he was flying the Vimana Shastra with Sita. He was able to lift. And it is also said how the Ramanama is so powerful that all the monkeys wrote Rama on the rock and put the rock, and the rock started floating in the water to build the bridge. It became much lighter that they can carry. Even now we can go and see that is a phenomenon that we can experience now. There are floating rocks that we can experience. All this was a science that was there in Valmiki Ramayana, and how consciousness over matter. Matter is something that we understand in the microcosm. In the macrocosm, everything is energy and frequency, and which is also inclusive, which is also infinite. Again and again, when we look at the other side of our incompletion, we start seeing the energy and frequency and the higher reality that we can express and experience as Paramashiva is real. Bhagavan Paramashiva has beautifully given us such powerful cognition, initiation, and make us understand the deeper truth. Now we can see how this matter is moved just by the Mahavakya. You can have any object on the silicon. Today we are going to place it on the silicon. Silicon can be your tab or it can be your cell phone, but make sure it is like this, very flat, and the object is not sliding, it is very stable. And you can put the Jnananjan on the object and apply on your third eye and your temples. Make sure nothing from external is moving, like it's not in the vibration mode or it's not switched on completely. Let it be switched off and there is no fan or any wind moving it. Make sure everything is very still so that you can measure the manifestation clearly. You can have a deity instead of coconut, or you can have any other object which is not sliding but clearly it is placed on the silicon. You can see how just by Mahavakya it starts moving so phenomenally. It's not sliding, it's actually moving around.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
You can see how flat it is, and it is clearly placed on a flat surface, and the tab is also switched off, and it is very clear that it is not having any external to move the object. Just by the chant of the Mahavakya, it is clearly seen that consciousness is more powerful than anything else. Now, all that we need to do is, once you set it up, put away everything and make sure you're recording all these moments, because these are extraordinary space that is getting manifested in front of you as reality. So don't forget to record. Set up your cell phone apart from the tab and record this beautiful moment. Now put away everything and just sit straight with your head, neck and spine in a straight line. Dissolve yourself into Paramashiva. Bring your awareness to your third eye. Sit with 25 heads, 75 eyes and 50 hands. Clearly define, I am Paramashiva. Bhagavan says it is not seeing Paramashiva is different and you are different. Seeing is experiencing Paramashiva. And more you entangle in the quantum space and experience Paramashiva in your reality. You are in the fifth force. You are in the consciousness. You can simply manifest any reality. Bhagavan clearly says, the more and more you dissolve your identity into Paramashiva and more understand Paramashiva exists in you, who celebrates, who manifests, who creates, who regenerates and who liberates. All this done is by Paramashiva. There is no identity. That is the very truth, very core cognition. Dropping your identity and experiencing Paramashiva, who you are, the ultimate, you start understanding that ultimate is possible and you start experiencing ultimate as your reality. Now intensely chant the Mahavakya. It is all about chanting the Mahavakya, deeply connecting to Paramashiva and experiencing that deep oneness, that love and gratitude. More and more you experience that love and gratitude for you to experience yourself beyond the matter as energy. As long as we are in only the length, breadth, depth, that is past, present, future, we are bound by the matter. But beyond that, the vertical time zone where everything dissolves into the space of Paramashiva, manifesting the quantum space, the infinite space, as energy, you start experiencing the higher reality. All you need to do is consciously dissolve the mind into the inner space and deeply chant from the navel center, the Mahavakya, with a deep listening. Every time the thought comes, see yourself having the thought. See yourself sitting as Paramashiva. See yourself manifesting Paramashiva. Every time you see yourself, there cannot be a thought. There can be only the witness, awareness, consciousness, which is more powerful. When you establish yourself in that, you become so powerful. You can manifest all the abundance and all that beautiful space of oneness to manifest your reality. Now let's start chanting the Mahavakya intensely to manifest the power of consciousness over matter. You can keep the Atmalinga in your hand and make it stand, or you can keep the object on the silicon and move the object. Whatever you think it is the happening for you, start manifesting that power just by holding the consciousness is real. Paramashiva is real.
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.